Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be diving into the profound and often unsettling ideas of Martin Heidegger, one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century. At the heart of our discussion lies a concept that challenges how we live, how we think, and how we face the realities of existence. And that concept is authenticity. But what does it mean to live authentically? Heidegger invites us to confront this question in his groundbreaking work, Being and Time. He asks us to consider the way we lose ourselves in the routines, roles, and expectations of society, the ways we conform to the anonymous collective he calls the they. But more importantly, he urges us to rediscover a life that is truly our own, one shaped by an awareness of our freedom, our mortality, and our ability to choose. Today we'll explore the contrast between inauthenticity and authenticity, the transformative power of anxiety, and the profound meaning of confronting our mortality. We will reflect on Heidegger's ideas about freedom, responsibility, and care, and how they resonate not only within philosophy, but in our everyday lives. But this isn't just a video about Heidegger. It's an invitation to think, to reflect, and perhaps to see your own existence in a new light. So now, let's set the stage for a journey into the depths of being and ask, what does it mean to live authentically? Let's go beyond the surface of Heidegger's authenticity. Let's not only grasp its meaning, but feel it, inhabit it, and allow it to unsettle us. For what is at stake here is nothing less than how we confront the mystery of our own existence. To begin, Heidegger asks us to reflect on our own being, not as an abstract concept, but as the immediate, undeniable reality of our existence. We are not just entities in the world like stones, trees, or tools. We are Dasein, a term Heidegger uses to describe human beings as entities who are aware of their being. Dasein means being there, and this there is not a physical location, but the world as it unfolds through our involvement, our cares, and our possibilities. What does it mean to exist in Dasein? First, Heidegger says, we are thrown. We find ourselves already in the world, with no say in where or when or how we arrived. We are born into circumstances not of our own choosing, cultures, languages, histories, and social norms that shape us before we even know ourselves. This is thrownness. Yet within this thrownness, we are free. We are free not in the sense of doing whatever we please, but in the profound sense of choosing how to respond to our thrownness. Shall we surrender to the roles and expectations handed to us by society, they, or shall we take up our existence as our own? This is the existential tension at the heart of authenticity. Heidegger does not condemn inauthenticity as a failure or a flaw. Inauthenticity is simply the mode of existence most of us occupy most of the time. It is the way that we navigate the world when we are absorbed in daily tasks, when we lose ourselves in routine, when we follow the they without question. Think about it. How often do you wake up and truly ask, why am I here? What should I do with my time today? Instead, we check our phones, drink our coffee, go to work, follow a schedule dictated by forces outside of ourselves. This is the essence of inauthenticity. Not an evil, but a forgetting of the fact that we are finite beings, that our time here is limited, that each moment offers the possibility of living in a way that is genuinely our own. And yet, there are moments, rare, unsettling, and profound, when the veil of inauthenticity is lifted. Heidegger speaks of anxiety, or angst, that deep, existential unease that arises not from fear of something specific, but from a confrontation with the nothingness of existence itself. In anxiety, the world as we know it falls away. The roles we play, the routines we follow, the goals we pursue, they all seem hollow, arbitrary, and insignificant. We face what Heidegger calls the groundlessness of being. There is no ultimate foundation, no preordained purpose. There is only this: you are here, you exist. This realization is terrifying, but it's also liberating, for in the void revealed by anxiety lies the freedom to choose not as they would have us choose, but as we must choose, as beings who are aware of our mortality, our finitude, our potential. Here we come to Heidegger's most radical idea: being toward death. Death, for Heidegger, is not merely the end of life, but the defining horizon of existence. It's not an event to be feared, but a possibility that we carry with us at every moment. Why does death matter so much? Because it is my own most possibility. No one can die for me. Death is the one thing that cannot be delegated, shared, or avoided. It is the ultimate confrontation with my individuality, my freedom, and my responsibility. To live authentically is to live in the shadow of this awareness, not morbidly, but soberly. It is to recognize that every choice I make, every action I take, occurs within the finite span of my life. Authenticity is not about rejecting death. It is about integrating it into the way I live, letting it illuminate what truly matters. But authenticity is not merely about turning inward. Heidegger emphasizes that we are beings in the world, fundamentally connected to others and to things we care about. Authenticity does not mean withdrawing from society or isolating yourself in existential despair. It means engaging with the world in a way that is deliberate, meaningful, and true to yourself. This is where resoluteness comes in. Resoluteness is the courage to take a stand in the face of life's uncertainties and to commit to a path even though no guarantees exist. It is the act of saying, "This is who I am. This is what I will do," even as the noise of the they beckons us to conform. And through resoluteness, we embody care. For Heidegger, care is the essence of being human. To care is to be invested, involved, engaged. Authenticity is not about turning away from the world, but about caring for it, caring for others, for our work, for the possibilities that make life meaningful. Heidegger does not promise us that authenticity is easy. It is not a state we can achieve once and for all, nor is it a guarantee of happiness. Authenticity is a burden. It is the constant, conscious effort to resist the pull of inauthenticity, to take responsibility for our existence, to face the truths we would rather ignore. But it is also a gift, for in authenticity, we find freedom. Not the shallow freedom of doing whatever we please, but the deep freedom of living in accordance with our own most possibilities. We find meaning, not in the fleeting distractions of the they, but in the choices and commitments that arise from our deepest selves. And so, thinkers and dreamers, I leave you with a challenge. Heidegger says, the question of existence never gets straightened out except through existing itself. So what does this mean? It means that no lecture, no book, and no teacher can give you the answer. The question of authenticity is not a theoretical problem, but a lived one. It is a question you must ask and answer for yourself, in the way that you live, the way you die, and the way you care. So go out into the world, let anxiety shake you, let death awaken you, and above all live, not as they would have you live, but as you must live, as a finite, free, caring being in the world. So that was an overview of Heidegger's concept of authenticity and inauthenticity. And as you can see, there's a lot we can learn from this. There's a lot we can take away from this to allow ourselves to move towards a place of freedom, to experience the life that we have been gifted with vigor and with enthusiasm. It is an opportunity for us to truly live and not just get by in the inauthentic sense of task after task after task. So there is a lot more to Heidegger's philosophy. We've only touched on this one particular concept, i.e. authenticity. And it's an important one. Now, Heidegger himself is a controversial figure. We won't go into that today. We'll do another video about that in the future. But despite the controversial nature of Heidegger himself, the idea of authenticity is, in my opinion, truly beautiful. And there is a lot to be learned from it. So, thank you very much for watching and for listening. I hope you found it interesting and informative. I would like to take the opportunity to ask you to do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe to the channel and so on. That would really help me out. That'd be wonderful, in fact, but also it means that YouTube will show you more content from other creators, not just from me, that are also talking about similar subjects, which will enable you to broaden your knowledge and hopefully refine your worldview. And if you watch this video and think I have horribly misunderstood Heidegger's authenticity, then please jump in the comments and let me know, because learning is a collaborative experience. So if I'm saying something wrong and no one tells me, I won't know. So jump in the comments and yell at me about how wrong and stupid I am. It's absolutely fine. I'll never take it personally. So please do. So thank you very much for watching and for listening, and I very much look forward to seeing you on the next one.